Hello and welcome to Týrcast 8. My name is Here and I am in Prague.
Hello, Gunnar. I am in the Faroe Islands at the moment. Still the bass player for Tyr, I hope. So, hello.
Yes, you're still in there with us.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
How about that? I'm Tad, I'm the drummer, and hopefully after this small joke, I'm still in the band as well. Haha. I sit in Budapest right now.
I am the guitar player and
You're-
singer of the band Týr, and that's why we call this Týrcast, because it's the podcast of Týr. You were saying, Gunnar?
Marvelous!
So this is the second episode of our second season. We put out episodes on the 7th and 22nd of each month at 1700 hours Central European Time. That's 5 p.m. Central European Time. You can subscribe to our channel and like and share this video. It really helps us a lot. Hit the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when we upload new material. You can get early access to our podcast and some other stuff by a few days, and some other exclusive material. I already said that. I'm not sure why I said that twice. By supporting us on Patreon. Please go to patreon.com/Týrband. And thank you to all who already do support us there. It's like a special fan club, I would say. We answer questions anyone puts to us through Patreon. So if you want to ask us something, tell us something, that's the place to do it. Anywhoosie, what happened recently?
I, for one, just returned from my rehearsal place, and finally I was able to set all the microphones. Well, all the microphones right now. I have only 3 microphones I'm recording drums with. Yeah, I record the drums. Sorry, sometimes the German just comes out in me. Yeah, so sometimes. Oh, come on. And anyhow, I was able to record something today with my new microphones at the new rehearsal place, and it sounds quite good. I had some difficulties with Cubase in the beginning with the setup of the ratios, but sounds decent right now. Looking forward to it, and that means that I'm going to start my own Patreon channel in a couple of weeks with all kinds of drum geek stuff and drum videos, playthroughs, and technical know-how and lamentations about the daily struggle of a drummer during pandemic.
Sounds amazing. I look forward to it.
Wow.
Are you going to pay for it? Yes?
You match that, Gunnar.
Oh, you're not going to see me in Patreon, that's for sure.
Yeah. I would be happy if I would
have money.
Well, I don't have any. That's why I'm going to Patreon.
Exactly. About that, making money of music, Marko Hietala quit Nightwish. He's been the bass player of Nightwish since 2001. I don't think he was a founding member, but he is as good as he's the male singer and an extremely good singer, I think, also. He quit because he didn't think they were given a fair share of the income from streaming services, and they're quite a deal bigger than us. So imagine if those guys think they can't make ends meet. It's a bit more difficult for us.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure the point was he couldn't make ends meet, but he wrote about he needed the validation of I suppose it's the financial aspect of it, and he mentioned something about it being a conspiracy. The first time I just glanced through the article, his reasons for leaving on the Nightwish website, and I thought it sounded reasonable, but now I was just reading it more closely, and I'm not sure I agree with everything he's saying. Sounds like what he is not satisfied with is that money is going to people who own shares in big companies, and they are among other people from the Middle East. And in the Middle East, you would be beheaded in some places for even playing this music or listening to it. That's what he said. I think that might be a bit overdone. I've talked to some people from Iran, for example, and they don't treat metal musicians very nicely, but I don't think they get beheaded, so far as I know, at least. And it's this hypocrisy that he's not satisfied with, and he hints that there's some conspiracy here, and I don't think I would support that. Your comments, Tadeusz?
I don't know about any kind of conspiracy in this matter. I'm very skeptical regarding any kinds of conspiracies, especially nowadays. But nevertheless, I mean, it must be very frustrating as a band and as musicians of that caliber of Nightwish. I mean, they are world famous metal band, and if they're still just getting frustration out of the whole thing at the end of the day, I mean, he's not only if I read correctly, he does not only talk about the financial aspect, but he had some emotional crisis and some struggles with depression as well.
Yes.
And I guess these are, so there have to be many factors working together and pushing him into leaving the band. But I guess just to get back to the topic on the Middle East and heavy metal, I mean, I heard from people living in the northern parts of Africa or in the Middle East, who said it's quite dangerous in some places to get in any kind of connection with heavy metal or with this blasphemic music.
I'm sure there are places where it can get you in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're a dangerous breed here.
there are less serious things than metal that can get you in trouble in some places. Believe me.
I think I for that matter, I think they should really try to meet some people who play metal and actually experience how nice people they actually are.
Yes.
That is true. I mean, you meet the most wonderful people in the metal.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what kind of genre. They're all quite nice. Yeah. So it's art. Don't forget this, people. It's art. It's like writing a fiction book. So it's don't take it too seriously.
Well, there are a lot of books on the banned list in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just saying.
And
ironically, also 1001 Nights, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and let's not forget the new initiative to ban several books in the Western countries or in the Western part of the world as well, because of some ideological problems regarding
going the wrong way.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I don't want to talk about this topic right now on on this podcast. I don't think that is really the place and the time, nor the time for it. But I mean, banning books and banning fictional books and banning music that is only about the art itself is ridiculous in any form and in any kind in every country on the whole world.
Yeah.
Stuff that doesn't break any laws shouldn't be banned.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically. Anyway, I think, I'm not sure about the mental state of Marko Hietala, but obviously it's not perfect. And but there is this quite common opinion that everybody is ripping musicians off, like someone takes way too much money than they should. And I've thought about it. I don't think it can be true, because if it were true, it would be all too easy for an honest record label to outcompete everybody. and you get all the artists because they paid the real money. Since that doesn't happen, I don't see where the any conspiracy or any ripoff would happen. Because if it were completely normal to rip off music artists, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but if it were the standard, any honest record label could come in and outcompete them. And since that doesn't happen, I think that's a strong indicator that there isn't really that much unfairness in it. There's just that little money to go around.
But I mean, just think about the streaming services. I mean, we ourselves had a post just a couple of weeks ago that there's a strict hierarchy between the amounts different streaming services pay to the bands or the musicians after 1 or 100 or 1,000 streams. I mean, Spotify is obviously paying really not only peanuts but miniature pieces of peanuts.
True.
I mean,
they pay less, and other services pay more. I think Napster pays 8 times or 10 times more. Mm-hmm. So that's why, we can make them compete against each other, but there's no doubt that Spotify provides a much better service than Napster at the moment. If Napster were to upgrade to that, it's possible it may cost them as much as it costs Spotify, and they would, for that reason, pay less. I don't know. I was just posting that in the hope to instigate some competition between those companies to pay the artists more. But I don't have any insight into how they arrange their finances. I don't know really what goes on in there. The only thing we can do directly is to simply refuse to sign a contract with too low a share for the bands. And
but that is actually
left the station.
Oh yes. Yeah. No, I just wanted to say that's the business of the record companies. I mean, between record companies and the streaming services, So we don't even get the opportunity to have a say in
exactly
in that.
Not even our record company does that, because the first deals between record labels and streaming services were between the big ones, Sony, Universal. And MGM, whatever they're called, and it's unlikely that a relatively small record label like Metal Blade or Napalm Records is going to come along and get a better deal. Those have set the standard, and I read a bit about it. From what I understand, it is likely that they were worried that they were going to be skipped, and that the streaming services were going to go directly to the artists or the artist managers to get the music. So in order to not get completely left out of that deal, they made ridiculously low deals. I don't have the numbers. I don't know if this is true. So that's where the really low numbers for streaming come from originally.
Right.
Our record label comes along later. It gets exactly the same deal. There's nothing they can do. However much pressure we put on them, I doubt they can change what Sony and Spotify do together. So all we can do is ask people to use services that pay more.
Or come to our concerts when we finally
Absolutely.
can play again.
I tell everybody that by far the best way is to buy CDs, come to concerts, buy merch, whatever, and that's where a very large share of our income lies. So. Gunnar, I hope you're not going to quit because you feel as unfairly treated as Marco.
No, I just don't like this internet stuff, and I never did. There's some good in it, but no, I prefer the real thing, live and records.
Yeah, of course.
That's and that's where the money is anyway. So, I
guess all live musicians prefer that to streaming shows or one-on-one streaming sessions. I mean, that's just not really. It's just not really anything,
No. I've never seen a stream show in my life. I think maybe I've glanced at one, but I never really sat down and watched a streaming show to see a band.
I was I was part of one.
saw,
But I mean, it's just not the same, you know. There's
Of course not.
you're sitting in a small room with well, in studio, if the circumstances are right, with other musicians, and you play for cameras. I mean,
yeah, I saw this a Danish band. We played with these guys. Something Park. I think you know this band. Well, anyway, they made a live stream. They made a whole I think a whole concert where they're just standing. Did a setup in a stadium in Denmark, in Copenhagen, and just streamed the show. So they didn't play for anybody. They just filmed everything, like it was a live concert. And well, I don't really see the point of that.
didn't Humfair do the same?
It's called Car Park North.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice
Nice
it's
band.
a good, yeah, it's a good band. So
And
Hamfer did some. I'm not sure it was live. They recorded something for a video.
that was just the record. I thought that was a streamed show as well, or just some streamed
If it
songs
was, I missed it.
at the roundabout.
Yeah, I
in the
remember.
new tunnel.
I think they were just making something for a new video. Don't. I don't know actually.
Okay.
Alright.
no, I have no idea what goes on up here music-wise. I don't listen to it.
Fair enough. Something else is going on in the Faroes. Maybe not with you, but there's a lot of children being born.
Well, a lot, yeah. Relatively speaking.
Well, what to do in these times?
So the population is now close to 53,000.
Unbelievable. It's getting really crowded there, isn't it, Gunnar?
No.
You're falling off the edges. Huddle together, man.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we could fit a lot of people on these islands. I can assure
If you
you of
compare the
that.
Faroes to places like Guernsey, Jersey, or something in the Mediterranean, the Faroes it's pretty desolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't forget, I mean, the Faroes are usually, they look like this, you know. I mean, you can only build around the edges, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
where are you
but
going to go?
You get some awesome views.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And horrible driving in the winter if you live too far up from the ocean.
Yeah. No,
but,
it's that if the population went up to population, I sound like I come from the Ukraine. If the population came up to 100,000, I don't think it would really matter that much. The problem here is that there's no apartments. That's a real big issue here, and house prices are skyrocketing.
Oh yeah,
as they are everywhere in the world. But I think there's a bigger and bigger difference between the normal working man and those with high
income.
What do you say? High income jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a lot of, for example, captains and pilots, whatever, you know, people who have good jobs that pay really good money. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is that these people earn so much money that they can actually afford the expensive houses, which actually makes the house prices skyrocketing, because that's what they're fishing for. So the normal man would not stand a chance of buying a property like that. And there's no alternative. That's a big issue actually, because if you want to buy a house, let's say a small house, you have to be two people with full-time jobs to manage that. But a trend in these times, as everybody knows, that there's an awful lot of people that are single, and maybe have kids also. So they don't stand a chance of getting anywhere to live. That's cheap enough. So that is a huge problem here, and that's something the government actually should take into consideration, because these people, they pay their taxes. So
yeah, it's a problem, like you said, everywhere, and the security network of a government should save people who fall through the cracks in such situations. But honestly, in the long run, I don't think the government can solve the big problem. I think nobody really knows precisely what the huge problem is, because even with the corona crisis, the prices, house prices and apartment prices keep going up, not just in the Faroes.
Yeah,
you would think something like that would halt it or crash it a bit, but no.
Actually, actually, that's not entirely true, because, for example, in Budapest, I mean, the rent prices and house prices, they really increased in the last 6 years. But in 2020, at least the rent prices, they dropped significantly. So
really? Nice.
they are going back up right now, because everybody thinks, okay, we're 2020 is over, now everything goes back how it was. Of course, that's not how it's going to be, but many, or at least the market expects that, so the prices are going back up. But in Budapest, for example, the rent prices, they showed a significant drop in the last 12 months.
I see. I didn't read up precisely on the prices in the Faroes, but my impression, at least, is that the corona didn't do much to affect it.
No, and that's mostly because nobody is, not many people are out of work because of corona, because most people work in the fishing industries, and as I said, they're sailing in boats, they're working on oil rigs and whatnot, and so they are not in close contact with a lot of people, so they can still get to work, but they are in good control of, they make all. For example, me, I work as a carpenter, because I work as a carpenter for the salmon company. Sometimes I take corona tests every third day.
Really?
So
wow.
Yeah, so they keep it there. So nobody's out of work really. So prices, they go up.
Yeah,
prices, they go up. The only solution I could get out of for the people who don't have that many jobs is that the government actually made some cheap, small apartments where people actually can live for a while until they probably make some better money or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there is really, there's not any, because it's not, apartments have not been a thing in the Faroe Islands ever.
Oh, that's true.
People buy houses, and when I guess this is just what I think. I have no idea of this, but I guess when a population starts to rise slowly, this probably is a common problem. So of not having you have to have people. They're not all going to buy houses.
That is true.
Yeah.
I was thinking of a completely different solution, maybe more suitable for guys like us.
Drop them in the ocean, let them drown and die? It's not a solution.
Make more money.
Yeah.
End of story.
Right. Let's do that. Let's do that. Next topic.
So I've been working for days nonstop on some music for the next album, and I intend.
That's your solution?
That is the only solution I have at the moment. I hate to get into details of the financial business, our private financial business, but I am just scraping along right now without doing anything else, at least for the last 2 months. So it leaves me a lot of time for working on music.
That's good.
Well, I can say for my part, I'm working now as a carpenter, and I do not have much money on top. And how do you say? There's not much money left.
Yeah,
There's nothing, almost nothing, because you have to pay what you have to pay.
Yeah, and stuff is a lot more expensive in the Faroes than it is here. I can tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst thing is actually the taxes. I don't mind taxes, but the taxes are high.
Yeah, the Faroes has extraordinary taxes.
Yeah, so. But we have a good life here, I guess.
Oh yeah.
We sure fucking do. We sure effing do. That's true. Anyway, tour music, making it, and that fills me with hope that we will soon be back on tour, and we will make a new album, and it's very inspiring to do something about it. And I hope to hear some bass and some drums on it soon.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Either touring is going to go back to where it was in the next 6 or 12 months, or not. But the album is coming, so that's for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, my wish is that we can finish it safely within this year. That doesn't mean it'll be released this year, because the time from when we deliver it to the record label and they will release it is increasing a lot lately, and they may need as much as half a year from we give it to them until it's actually released. So, hoping to at least finish it this year.
And that's actually a good point for those people who don't know about this, that the period from when you finish an album till it comes out, it's incredibly long.
Yeah.
Yes, and ever increasing. We have some questions from
Let's hear them.
Our Patreon. Now we have as many as 7 questions. There's someone called
Bring it on.
Little Lady Seraphine, who asks, what kind of video games do you guys like? If you like video games at all, if so, what games do you play? Gunnar?
Oh, I don't like video games. If anything, I would play Flight Simulator, but that's more for real, I guess. So that's about it.
Tadios?
Oh, I was a big gamer back in the day.
You were? I didn't know.
Yes, in my teens. I mean, that's 20 years ago or even more. But yeah, I used to play a lot. And nowadays, sometimes when I'm really stressed out because I have too much stuff to do, then I stop doing anything productive at all and go back playing very old games. Like, for example, Oblivion. Well, the gamers out there will know what it is. It's an RPG. It's a role-playing game. Or the very old Warcraft 2, for example. Yeah. Or Panzer General 2. So strategic and role-playing games. I used to love those. Yeah. But I don't really know the current games, especially since I only have a laptop, and I don't think that it would be strong enough to make them run.
Mm-hmm. I don't play any games these days. I have some small games on my iPhone for every now and then to waste some time while flying, for example. Just some puzzle games. But as for video games, the only game I remember ever playing properly is Diablo 2. And that's at least 20 years ago. But I couldn't escape the feeling of it being a terrible, terrible waste of time. So I deliberately avoided it ever since, because I hate that feeling of I would practice guitar, write music, whatever. Some people might find it unproductive. It really fills me with a meaning. But playing games never did that. It just felt like a desperate waste of time, and I felt really bad after playing for the same thing. I'm not sure where that comes from. That's just how I felt. And nowadays, I wouldn't know anything about games, honestly. I don't have anything to do with it.
I actually remember a game I liked. It's called Myst, if somebody know that. Myst and Raven. But these are adventure games, I guess.
Yeah,
it's where you have to where you have to find stuff, and to get further into the game, you have to find stuff and figure out stuff. And that was it was very well made, and you could totally leave yourself into it. But that's about it. So, I feel the same. I feel the same as here. I feel it's an awful waste of time.
No, I mean, I feel this feeling grew stronger in me from day to day since I was 16 or 17, and that's why I stopped for many years. And right now, it's also not just for relaxing myself, but it's a symptom of having too much on my plate, and that's kind of escape.
I understand that. I understand that. For the same reason, I might watch a movie or a series or something.
Yeah, exactly.
To get your mind completely off everything.
Absolutely.
Little Lady Seraphine asks another question. Have you guys played Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I suppose we just answered that. No clue what it is. Never heard of it.
I heard of it. I mean, I saw some videos. It looks amazing, and I think Ivor wrote some music for that.
Good for her.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it looks really amazing, but I would try it. Yeah, sure.
I suppose I would be intrigued in just seeing what it looks like, but spending time on actually playing it, I'm afraid my feeling of wasting time would come back, and no, I don't think I'll be a gamer. Högni Jakobsen asks, what is the biggest crowd you have played in front of? And that would be either
Hellfest.
The big no. That will be either the big show here in Czechia. What's it called? Metal. What's the name of it? It's a huge. They have one stage. At least they had back when we played there. We played there twice. There's a video of us playing Regensmyr at the show. We had a backdrop that looked like a stamp on the huge stage.
Masters of Rock.
Masters of Rock, exactly. Either that or the first, or no, not the first time, or one of the times we played at Sommerfestivalen in the Faroes, where the video for Blood of Heroes is shot. There might have been
there's more.
10,000
No, when
people.
we played where we watched Ozzy Osbourne and we watched Judas Priest. That was the Grass Pop. That's that was the biggest ever.
I think so too.
We played in the tent, the indoors one.
No,
yeah, but that was about 12,000 people.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
jam-packed.
It was jam-packed, and that was they told me it's between 10 and 15,000. The capacity of that tent. I mean,
okay, you know, I see. Yeah, it was pretty big. I didn't think it was that big, but that might be. I remember there was definitely a big crowd. It's hard to count, and it's hard to get precise numbers from anyone. Promoters will usually overdo it.
I always lose the count around the middle.
Around 38 or 42.
Have to get a new base and.
Oh no.
So it's hard to get precise numbers. Like people who work at festivals will usually try to overdo it, and people who are in charge of the security will usually underdo it because they may have broken the law by letting too many people in. So I would say one of those: Sommerfestivalen, Masters of Rock, or Grass Pop.
Yeah.
And somewhere over 10,000 for each of those. Any idea how many albums you have sold? I used to have an idea, but at the moment I have absolutely zero idea. It's somewhere between 100 and 150,000, I would guess.
Total?
Yeah. They're used to when we get statements from Napalm Records. At least they used to write the number we actually sold, and it would be very fast just to add them up and see how much we sold altogether. But so far as I know, they don't do that anymore, and Metal Blade never did that. I had asked them precisely about the number of each album. I could go and ask them all what we have sold of each album and just add it up together, just out of curiosity. But I would guess it's somewhere around 150,000 at the moment.
So how lame is that against the pop artist?
Well, I mean,
True.
yeah, there are people who sell millions and hundreds of millions. Another question from Høgni Jakobsen. Any plans to bring in former members to take part in the Týrcast? We were talking about getting guests on the Týrcast. Yes, no luck so far. And anyone who we want to join us and who agrees to join us on the podcast, I guess it might include past members of Týr as well. Yes. We just didn't get to it yet. It'll be a bit more complicated to set up than this. Sarah Herzog asks, how do you all manage to have such incredible hair?
Oh, I probably should wash it.
So Gunnar, what's your hair secret?
Is that puke from yesterday?
Don't wipe your behind with it.
Well, it happens.
Accidentally.
After a certain length, you know.
There's no secrets for my hair. For example, it's I didn't even cut my hair for, oh my God, it's years and years and years. I didn't even touch it, and I use whatever is on the shelf of shampoo, but I do use conditioner. Or either it gets very dry. So that's about it.
I guess it's
Thaddeus, what products are you most into these days? What's your favorite?
Well, my favorite product is the German genetics, yeah? So...
Oh, you lucky bastard.
No, but seriously, I mean, we actually already talked about this, I think, in a former episode.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's, I mean, you know, some people can't even grow their hair out because it stops after a certain length.
True.
I mean, you're just lucky if you're almost 40 or above 40 and you still have, you know, somewhat of a haircut, and if you can grow it to your arse, then well done. But that's genetics.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I have, like Gunnar, I hardly ever cut my hair. I did recently. I had it cut in a barbershop, and it's years in between. I use whatever's on the shelf, but I do try to use a lot of conditioner because it's very dry and it gets very tangled if I don't do that. I don't think the conditioner makes... It's genetics. It doesn't make it grow nicer. It may make it look nicer. But
just makes it softer. Like,
we're just lucky bastards born with nice hair genes. Last question is from Jennifer. Where would you recommend someone new starts listening to your music? So if someone is new to our band and someone wants to introduce them to Týr, what should they show them? I would just show them whatever's most popular on whatever streaming service they use. All streaming services have this list beneath the name of each artist. What are the most popular songs of that artist on the streaming platform? And they will most likely be the most successful songs to convince people to listen to this band. That's the reason the streaming services put the songs there. So that's what I would do. Quite simple. You have any thoughts about that?
Not really. I would suggest the most recent material and start from there and go back.
Me too.
That's better for us as a band, obviously, yeah.
And you know, I mean...
No, it's just that... Then you know it's quality that you hear. The old stuff is not necessarily good quality.
The sound.
So you have you start in a good place and you
I think
relate.
that might be correct. Yeah. You're
it's
probably
more high polished,
likely to be convinced by the new material.
Yeah. So.
And especially since I'm already playing on that, so come on.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that.
If you want to hear the wonderful drumming of Thaddeus, you should listen to the most recent album, Hell.
Yes, definitely.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
I have a challenge for you.
Oh no.
That is to come up with a challenge for the next one. I actually don't have a challenge. I thought I'd spare you. Because that would mean I would have to challenge myself and do something, and I really don't want to spend time on anything else right now than music. So the challenge is to finish the first demo until next podcast.
The first demo? Okay.
First demo? Holy shit, that's a challenge.
Yes.
Okay. But I mean...
would that be the challenge for now, or for the...
we have 2 weeks
the next
to completely finish the demo. The first demo track.
Give me it. Come on. Let's go.
Don't forget, we already have one challenge that's still not done.
There was no time. There was no expiration date on that, was there?
Well, no, but I mean, getting another challenge while the first challenge is not even done.
Thaddeus, this is an important challenge. The other one is less important. We'll do both, but this is really important. Good. And this has an expiration date. I just put it on. Stamp on his ass. 2 weeks.
Okay.
Master has spoken.
All right. This was Týr Podcast number 8. You can follow us on Instagram, where we are Týr_official. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, where we are Týr Band. You can track us on bandsintown.com/Týr, and they will let you know when we are on tour again. Listen to our music on Amazon, Napster, Tidal, or Apple Music, or similar services, or wherever you like to listen to it, even here on YouTube. It's fine with us, as long as our numbers keep going up. You can visit our website, Týr.fo, and at the bottom of the front page, we would like to ask you to sign up for the Týr newsletter, and we will tell you when we have new stuff happening and new merch, whatever. If you want to put a question directly to us, please sign up at patreon.com/Týrband, and we will answer here on Týrcast. We put out episodes on the 7th and 22nd of each month at 1700 Central European Time. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you back here on the 7th of February at 5 p.m. Central European Time. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
No, auf Wiedersehen.
До свидания. Adios.
Ciao.